And now let's see about getting our contact page created. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is go to Pages, Add New. We're going to enter the title as Contact, and at this point go to Template and change it from Default Template to Full Width Page. And now we're going to go ahead and go to the Page Builder and cancel out of this. And before we get started, let's just take a look at what we are ultimately looking to create. So here at truebluemarketview.com, we have our main page. And if we look at the footer menu, we have Contact Us. And we're going to go ahead and click on Contact Us to see what the contact page looks like that we're going to be creating. And here we see there is a blue envelope that reads Contact Us, a blue bar below that separating the sections. Below that there is text which fades in, which reads, hello, question, comments, suggestions. You may send your email to admin@truebluemarketview.com or use the contact form below. And we just simply have a contact form. So let's go ahead and get that created. To get started, the first thing that we're going to want to do is set up a row layout for our content. So we'll click on Row Layouts, go to one column, left click, hold, and drag over to the left, and drop. Next, we will want to go to the row settings and change the width to full. The content width is also going to be full, and the height will be default. And the next thing that we're going to do is go to row settings, change the width to full, leave the content width to fixed, and leave the height to default. Now we're going to scroll down and go to background and change the type to photo. Then we will select photo, upload files, select files, and we will navigate to where we have our graphic file or picture file. Click open and click select photo. We're going to leave repeat to none, position center, attachment scroll, and we're going to change scale to none. And continuing on, we'll leave the background color settings the way it is. Background overlay, we will leave as well. And for the border, we will choose solid. We will pick a color. That color value is 0073 CF, which is the value for True Blue, which is the brand color for truebluemarketview.com. Next, we are going to adjust the widths. All of the widths except for the bottom width is going to be 0. Next, we'll go to the Advanced tab. We're going to leave all the margins to 0. We're going to change the padding for top padding to 200. Bottom to 25. And left and right will be 0. For responsive layout display, we are going to set this to be large devices only. And what these responsive display settings are in reference to, large devices only are going to be basically laptops and desktop computers and smart TVs. Large and medium devices only, a medium device is going to be a tablet on the larger size. Something probably at least 7 inches of screen size would be considered a medium device. Something smaller than, and I'm kind of guesstimating here, but small devices are going to be phones. So if it's something like 6 inches or smaller, as far as the screen size, is going to be considered a small device. And the reason to set this to large devices only, it's really just a preference thing, but on mobile, things display differently. So having this large image and then forcing somebody to have to scroll down just to find the contact information on their phone just doesn't seem to really have a lot of value. Now, if I wanted to, I could take the time to make a nice looking page for the mobile platform. However, with TrueBlueMarketView.com, as long as the site is functional and accessible and you can get information on a mobile platform, that's probably good enough, really, because with the subject matter discussed at TrueBlueMarketView.com, people aren't likely to spend a lot of time sitting on their couch watching videos and reading the web page from their smartphone in the living room. When people are looking to do things like set up their YouTube videos, create their website, work on graphics for their YouTube channel, for a book that they're working on publishing, for their website that they're working on creating, or a new page on their website that they're setting up, or maybe for a new post on their page, maybe that post happens to be their new podcast episode. There's lots of different things that are primarily either serious hobbyist or business related, commercial related, that is discussed here at TrueBlueMarketView.com. And so most people are really going to be coming to the site and coming to the YouTube channel on a computer. So it's not really that big of a deal to put a lot of time and energy into making this particular site look really good on mobile. And we'll be showing you what it looks like on mobile using an Android emulator later in this video. So for now, we're just going to set the responsive layout display on the contact page for the graphic of the blue envelope to be displayed on large devices only. And for visibility, we'll leave it to always. Now, you don't want to limit it to never displaying to only to logged in users or only to logged out users. Always is typically going to be the visibility that you'll want for content on your publicly visible website. Otherwise, it won't be publicly visible. And that's about it for the row settings. Click Save. And click Done. And click Publish Changes. Now let's take a look at what our partial contact page actually looks like over at TBMV example. Now you'll notice that we can't actually navigate to the page yet, and the reason for that is because we actually have to set the permalink for our pages when we create them. So if we go back over into WordPress for TBMVexample.com, and I'm just going to duplicate this tab, and I am going to go back into the dashboard. And I'm going to go to Pages, All Pages. And here we are going to edit the contact page. And see, here is the permalink. So if I had went to tbmvexample.com/contact, it would work. However, what we're actually trying to replicate is contact-us, because that is the link structure being used at TrueBlueMarketView.com. So to do that, we can simply click Edit and change the address to what we want, click OK, and click Update. Now when we try to load that page at tbmvexample.com, it should load. And there we go. That is what our contact page currently looks like. Now you'll notice that the color of the page still isn't quite right. So at the tbmvexample.com/contact us, it's not a white background. In fact, you can tell here in the image that where the white border is of the image in contrast to the rest of the background color for the page itself. When we look at TrueBlueMarketView.com/contact-us, it blends much nicer because the background here is white and the image that we're using also has a white in the image, so it just blends right in. So in order to fix that, we're just going to go ahead and go to Pages, to the contact page, and launch the page builder. I'm just going to duplicate that tab and launch page builder. And here in the page builder for the contact page, we're going to go to row settings. We're going to scroll to the background color here, click on the color picker, and we're going to change this to FF, 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 and click save. And click done, and click publish changes. And you can see here at tbmvexample.com on the Contact Us page, it now looks more like the truebluemarketview.com Contact Us page, at least the top section. And let's see about completing the rest. All right, so back here in the page builder for the contact page of tbmvexample.com, we're going to need to add some more content. So we're going to go to row layouts, one column, and we're going to want to drag it below our existing row layout and drop it. Go to row settings, change it from fixed width to full, and the rest of the settings on the style tab can be left alone. And now we'll go to advanced, and all of these settings can also be left as is. And at this point, click save. And go to add content. Go to heading, left click and hold, drag, and drop. And for the text, we're going to type hello. And we'll make it 60 font size. We'll leave the font weight to normal, and we'll change the text color to 6D, 6D, 6D. We will leave it at left alignment. We will not use a subheadline, and we will enable responsive font sizes. And we'll just simply change all these values to 18. Next, we'll go to advanced. And the only margin we'll change here is we'll change the bottom margin to 0. And we'll leave the responsive layout display to always, visibility display to always, and animation style will change to fade in, and the delay to be 1 second. Click save. And like with the row layout above, we're actually going to want to change this background color of this row to white by going to row settings, scrolling down, changing background to color, picking the color, and setting it to FF, FF, FF. Now click save. Now we will need to add more content. So we'll go to add content, and this time we will select by left-clicking and holding text editor and dragging over to the left. And we want to be in the same box as hello, only right below it. We have the text editor settings window open, and we just need to add our text. Now go to the advanced tab and adjust the margins. We'll set the top to 0, the bottom to 10, and leave both left and right to 20. We will leave the responsive layout display to always, visibility display always, animation style fade in, and we'll set a 2-second delay. Click save. And we will need to now go and make sure that we have a contact form to actually add into another row on our page. So for now, we'll click done, publish changes, and we'll go back to the WordPress dashboard. In the WordPress dashboard, we will go to Contact, Contact Forms. And now what we will do is go ahead and edit Contact Form 1. and we will simply put what we want in the form. And we really are just using the default fields, but if you wanted to add or remove fields in the contact form, this is where you would do it on the form tab. So next where we would want to go is to mail. And on this page, you want to add what is appropriate for the email address information that you want to use. For example, if I were doing this for truebluemarketview.com, these are the addresses that I would put in. Or if we simply show you truebluemarketview.com, this is what the mail settings page looks like for the contact form in use on truebluemarketview.com. So here we would actually want to use the addresses for this account for the tbmvexample.com. And so those addresses, for example, would be more like this: tbmvexample@gmail.com and tbmvexample@gmail.com. And go ahead and click Save at the bottom of the screen here. You can also customize the messages if you go to the Messages tab. And you can go ahead and customize that as you see fit. Now, the contact form is notifying us that the sender email address does not belong to the site domain, and that's true, it doesn't. So what it's really looking for would be something like dan@tbmvexample.com, because this site, the domain for this site is tbmvexample.com. And that's why if we look over here at truebluemarketview.com, under mail, because I am using truebluemarketview.com as the addresses, it doesn't bring up that warning. Now, it goes beyond the scope of the video for setting up a website, but the reason for this is because I have mail forwarding set up through my domain name registrar, which is Namecheap, and they're also my authoritative name server provider. And I have that set up between my domain registrar and my Gmail account, and you can authorize that in Gmail, and you can also set it up in the Namecheap domain name registrar. And I will probably create some videos that speak to that at another time, but not going to talk to all of those fine points here and now. Also, if you're paying for hosted exchange, then the configuration will be a little bit different yet again. So for now, just know that this is where you would put in the basic information to get your contact form working. And now that we actually have this form, what we're going to want to do is make note of where it says copy this shortcode and paste it into your post, page, or text widget content. That shortcode is also shown if you simply just go to Contact in WordPress, where we want to edit the contact form. The shortcode is also displayed there, and we will copy it. And I like to have things in a plain text editor and recopy from there to where it needs to go. That way I know there's no hidden characters there. Okay. So now let's go back to our contact page for tbmvexample.com, re-enter the page builder, and click on row layouts. Click, hold, and drag one column down below all of the existing content and drop. Now go to row settings. Change the width to full, set content width to full, leave height to default, and change background type to color. Select the color and set the value to FC, FC, FC. Leave the opacity to 100% and don't use a border. Next, go to Advanced. And we'll leave the margins all to 0. We'll leave the padding all to 20. For the responsive layout, we'll leave the display to always, visibility to always, and that's all we need. We'll click Save. Now what we'll do is we'll go to Add Content. Left-click, hold, and drag Text Editor down into the new row that we created. And this is where we want to paste the short code. And remember, the short code is shown here on the contact forms page in the WordPress control panel. And we're actually going to want to do this in the text, because normally you're in visual. We're going to go over to text and paste that here. And you can see we now have a form, but the form still doesn't quite look like the form here on truebluemarketview.com. So we need to do a little bit more work. All right, so what we're going to want to do is go to the settings of the module. This is the text module we added. We're going to edit the settings for that module by clicking the wrench, going to advanced, changing the left and the right margins to 400. And the rest of the values can be left as is, and click Save. Click Done. Publish changes. And if we go to tbmvexample.com/contact us, let's see what it looks like. So we'll refresh the page. And it is now looking quite a bit like truebluemarketview.com/contact us. Now, of course, you could add other information into the page. You could put a map, you could put your address, you could put your phone number, you could put other types of pictures. And we will be looking at other contact pages and other about pages and so forth in other tutorials. But for now, we're going to wrap up the contact page for truebluemarketview.com, or for tbmvexample.com as it were, and we're going to move on to create our next page.